Welcome to Featured Healer of the Month, and today we have Miss Michele Forsberg.
Hey there.
We're so excited to have you here today. And this is Melissa Windell here with Earth Weather Healings. We thank you so much for jumping in and joining on our special guest today. And I'm super excited to introduce to you Michele and her new phase of her life that she is blossoming and jump-starting into. But I also have this feeling that it's not just a jump-start, it's been a long...
It's been brewing.
It's been brewing. It's been brewing. I love it. And so I'm so excited to kind of hear about it because this is all really fresh to me too. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say and to introduce it. So let me kind of let me give you a little background on her first. Michele has been a physical therapist for
17 years.
Wow, 17, that's powerful.
Yeah.
17 years. Did you hear that? That's a good time. And but also she works more than just on physical therapy. I also feel like you work a lot with the mind and the spirit and the emotions, like definitely collaborating it all together. Does that feel?
Yeah, absolutely. And I, so part of my specialty is I work with women as a pelvic physical therapist.
Okay.
So I help women that have had any kind of pelvic pain, C-section scars, scar tissue, any kind of, issues that have to deal or resonate around the pelvis. So post-childbirth, post-C-section, ovarian cysts, pelvic pain, many different things.
Do you work also with like endometriosis?
Yes. Yeah.
Especially like, I also feel like your line of work really supports women who have had like multiple miscarriages and aren't able to like bring child to term.
Right. Yeah. And also just kind of the devastation that happens from things like childbirth, things like surgeries, or experiences from being a woman. So just, very painful periods or PCOS.
What's PCOS?
Polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Okay.
So, just many different things that women experience.
Well, and also I can only imagine too, like the physical traumatic things of like wanted or unwanted encounters from other people in your body. Like I'm sure that's a huge one.
Absolutely. Yes. A lot of my patients have had forms of abuse and, running the gamut in that realm as far as trauma to the pelvic area and trauma just physically and emotionally. So, yeah.
I know just from my background and education on like an energetic spiritual plane that ovaries for women act like sponges. So it's like our ovaries and our uterus are like kind of like sponges to hold everything in, especially if you're like a big nurturer or somebody that like takes on the world to try and heal it. It's like those, they're so tiny, but they hold so much energy in them.
They certainly do, as do the uterus, and just everything is so connected to the heart and, the chakras and, yeah.
I want to say too, so I got to meet Michele by this beautiful office network space that she has pretty much created, right, with Susan and Garth, and I got to come and be a part of it. So one of the great things was that I actually got to see Michele, and I was really shocked and grateful in the same passage for, I really didn't know what to expect when coming to see you. And before I even came in, she already picked up intuitively that I needed a very gentle and a very soft session with her. And I was really grateful because I thought it might be really painful what I was doing. But what I also learned was, because I've also had 2 children not come to term. And then I also had, an IUD for birth control. And after seeing her, I actually went and got it removed because it had been creating a lot of scar tissue in my like cervical area. And in the chance that, the beautiful form that I might have another child, plus my beautiful daughter I already have, I wanted to make sure everything was super healthy and flowing down there so I would have the best opportunity for it. But I thought it was so grateful because she even was like moving my legs in certain ways that we realized I had scar tissue, and I think I want to say myofascial, that needed to be released and to be opened up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how did you feel after that session?
I felt really good. I felt really supported, and I felt really taken care of. And I really want to say I felt safe. You know, and I was really, especially, you know, being on the intuitive path and a healer, I was so grateful to work with you on the fact that you were already picking up what I best needed before I came in, so you could best support me. And I mean, that alone to me is like,
that's a really big proponent of working with someone, and especially working with women in so many issues, is just having that grounding and feeling safe within that pelvic region. And I think that's where a lot of our feminine issues come from, is just from not feeling safe and feeling very vulnerable. So that's something that I like to help people with. Yeah.
And that really makes sense, because it's like, you think about your pelvic area and your uterus and your ovaries, like that's your like root chakra, like that's like how you connect to the earth. And so if it doesn't feel safe in there, like nothing feels safe. And I also think growing up, we have so many misconstrued ideas of how we're supposed to give our like sexual energy out to the world, and streaming that into like how that sexual energy is actually a huge part of our power as a feminine woman, which I feel like is a perfect gateway into this awesome, how do you want to describe it? I don't want to say retreat.
The retreat?
Yes. Yeah. The awesome retreat. Yeah. I was like, it's not a festival, it's not concert. Yes, this awesome retreat that Michele and her beautiful friend
Esther Cohen
is are co-creating, and it is called
Rock the Feminine.
It's like the most like perfect name ever. And knowing Michele, I'm like, yeah, that is like so in alignment. Which is also, the Rock the Feminine is it's a retreat that is a gateway into what you probably have been studying your whole life, and then have been brewing, and then are ready to bring it into the world. So why don't we talk a little bit about the retreat, and then the bigger picture.
Okay, so the retreat is on August 27th, and it's all day. It's from 9 o'clock till 7 o'clock at night, 9 a.m. to 7 o'clock at night. And it's in Lyons on this beautiful sprawling property. There's a labyrinth and a yurt, and it's just like sprawling hills and mountainsides. It's just so gorgeous. And we're gonna be dining together. We'll be having lunch and snacks and dinner, and just lots of bonding with other women. And just because this is just going to be such a great experience for women to just bring out their divine energy, and just like, you know, when you're just hanging out with your girlfriends, you're just having a really good time and kicking back. Well, it's going to be that, like, on, you know,
like emphasis
on a
like
bigger level, you know, and just really digging deep into our awareness of our bodies, and just from the inside out. So it's called Rock the Feminine from inside out, because we're going to be experiencing, sensing our bodies from the pelvic floor up through the chakras, and just kind of opening our hearts and opening our minds, and just empowering one another. So that's the best part of it, is that by yourself doing this kind of work is fine, but having the girls, the tribe of women, right, with you, is just going to be that much more empowering and so lovely. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you can join us. We still have openings, so yeah.
Well, and I know just from like personal experience, and I was actually just talking about this a few moments ago with someone else, was that, you know, when you're doing things by yourself, it's amazing and it's satisfying, but I gotta tell you, the moment I kind of gave up on that, or like threw that out the window and realized I like other people in my world, and I like that feeling of support, and most honestly, I love the feeling of my sisters and my tribe within the women that I know. It's like, I can't tell you, like magic happens when you have other people working with you, supporting you and seeing you, and you get to support them back. It's like, I mean, I feel like I've just gone miles forward because of that.
Yeah.
Feminine support.
Yeah.
So in this Rock the Feminine retreat, Michele, is there going to be like guided meditations?
Yep.
Is there going to be like dancing movement? Are they doing like self-massage?
It's going to be actually a little bit of all of that, because it's all day long, right? So
it's like 10 hours,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but so we're gonna save a good amount of time for dining and getting to know one another towards the end. So
so building heart trust with each other.
Absolutely, yeah. There's going to be some guided meditation, some movement. We're going to be doing some yoga and some dancing to really get your
dancing. You've never seen this girl dance? You need to watch her dance.
We're going to get the pelvic area moving and breathing, and just kind of there's going to be some quiet time where we're going to meditate and go inside and kind of a guided tour, if you will, of the pelvic floor.
Wow.
And then there will be some time at the end to learn self-care and how to bring this home with you, so that you can kind of always rock the feminine in your day-to-day life. So learning how to take care of yourself and nourish yourself, that's going to be a big part of it as well.
I feel like that's really important. That like last piece you spoke on is like how to cultivate it within yourself so you can use it for your own vessel at home on your own. I think that is like a huge gift to give to them.
Absolutely. I was, when we have such a great experience like that, you want to kind of know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
what do I do with it now? So what do I do with all this power I have?
Yeah. Well,
right?
And how to use it, and like how to like anchor it in so you can like take it with you. Yeah,
absolutely. And so part of this journey is going to be introducing my Femininenergy program, which is the movement portion of it and the body sensing portion of it. It's a structural kind of program that teaches us how to be in our bodies and become more efficient in a feminine way. So how to hold your posture in a more efficient and effective way, so that it helps you to relieve your pain in your pelvic area and free up the hips and support you with more of a core strength.
Wow.
And leg strength. So it's going to be like a postural awareness meets core exercise meets yoga kind of thing. So I'm going to be introducing
spirituality.
Exactly. So it's going to be introduced in this Rock the Feminine. So it'll be a really interesting combination of things. And I think Esther really brings to the table a lot of the spiritual stuff. She's been doing these kinds of gatherings and women's gatherings for many years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has. So she's got a really interesting take on things. So I'm really excited to be able to collaborate with her as well.
See that sisterhood collaboration again?
Yeah, it's interesting because we were, I was telling her about my Femininenergy program and was telling her that I wanted to have some kind of retreat to introduce it. And she was saying that she was going to be doing her Divine Sisterhood retreat.
Oh, really?
And I was like, well, maybe we should do it together. She was like, totally. And then she said, come up and see, where I live and where we're going to do this. And I was blown away. It was just so beautiful. And there are pictures on the little webpage that we have that is just really outstanding. I can't wait to just spend the day there. So it'll be really spiritual and fun and powerful and just,
And I love how like the universe just brought you two together for that. And I also love the piece about, because I didn't know that like the posture and the alignment was a big part of it. And I think, I've never like thought about it till you were just speaking it, but like how important that is, because, women, we've got these like beautiful breasts in front of us that are heavy, and like
well, mine's not.
But they still, but it's also like, I mean, I remember growing up and when I first was starting to blossom and I was like, oh, I'm going to have good posture today. And I walked by a group of boys and I got totally made fun of. I got told that like, oh, you're sticking your chest out. And I remember since then I was like, okay, you know, like, you know.
So I'm so glad you brought this up, because this is what we're going to do at Rock the Feminine, is we're going to bring those stories forward. We're going to talk about our first stories of being feminine and what that means, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've all got stories like that that have shaped your body and have the way that you carry yourself through life. Yeah. So I'm so glad you brought that up. You're so great.
Well, and I feel like even with you speaking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I could see how that's created shame. Yeah. And like, I shouldn't be proud of who I am. And now it's like,
look at you.
Oh, vivacious. Well, that's right. I'm working at it.
You're rocking it, right?
I'm working at it. I feel like I'm constantly getting better, but thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But I even, it's something I'm consciously aware of like, man, like trying to hold posture. But, you know, as I get older, I'm really fortunate that these are getting bigger, you know, but it's like, they're getting heavier. And so like with that, like, you know.
Sure, you collapse forward and. Yeah. And one of the other things that I see a lot in women is a tucked under pelvis and very tight held pelvic floor. So everyone's kind of guarding and tucking, and it doesn't allow your organs to move and to breathe and to do their work. So we're gonna get that feminine posture ready, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with that, I think, because many people don't relate to that anymore. They can't get into that feminine posture. So
well, and there's like so much energy. I mean, like that's where all your creative energy is, all your sexual energy, all your self-worth energy, your like childhood, your birth stories are all in there.
Those stories. There's so many stories.
Yeah.
So in one day we're gonna open up some stories.
That's so.
Well, at least we'll touch on.
And some might be floodgates,
right? Yeah,
which I kind of hope so. I mean, I'm a floodgate girl. Like, let's move stuff. Yeah. So I want to ask you really quick, Michele. So this Rock the Feminine is this introduction to this new program you're creating now. This it's called
Femininenergy.
Femininenergy.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a tongue twister for a first timer. This Femininenergy is this going to be something that they come to you to do? Is it like a program they do online? Is it a class program, a one-on-one?
It's going to be an online. It's still in the process of being formed, but it's going to be an online portal where people can log in and watch videos and do the exercises.
Yay!
And then there'll be some other support things like learning videos, like anatomy kind of things.
Oh, like educational
pieces to it. And there will be, if people want to do a whole program of just kind of self-development, kind of making time for self-care and, you know, just kind of laid out for people. So it'll be just like a portal, and there's going to be a group support system as well. So I'm not sure of the platform yet, but this is still kind of underway. But I wanted to introduce the foundation of it. And my hope is that I will have regular retreats or get-togethers so people can actually get to learn with some hands-on assistance, right? Because if you're watching a video, you can't always tell if you're doing it the right way, you know, if there's no one there to help support you. So I want to build in some support from other women, other practitioners. I'm going to invite, you know, have an open forum for other practitioners to join in.
Oh, yay.
And absolutely. Yes. For sure. You're definitely on my list. Yeah. So it's going to be just like a whole Femininenergy program portal, and you can take whatever you want from it, you know, make it your own.
So what would be your top 3 goal destinations for retreats? Thinking big.
I haven't thought about that.
I'm like, of course, I'm like tropical. We're gonna go
definitely. I feel like maybe somewhere like Costa Rica, but not Costa Rica because everybody's going to Costa Rica, right? But yeah, somewhere definitely beach, tropical. You know.
Yeah, I think you need to be close to the water because water is like the womb of.
Definitely.
The feminine.
Definitely. And then we can make it more, you know, of an extended retreat. So it could be experienced over like 2 or 3 days, right? Or 4.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. I was like, actually, I mean 5, really. You need like a day to relax. Yeah.
So it's all in the process. I'm always open to suggestions. So I'll have to put you on my panel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all about that. And especially, it's good to, I'm a big goal visionary, which you are too. So it's always like, okay, like let's
get that going, right? Yeah, for sure.
And I want to just speak one thing about the feminine, because it's something I've been diving into a lot in the last year, is like, I'm noticing that there's a total difference between, because I think we all carry, I know we all carry male and female energy about us, but I feel like there's male and female energy, but then there's a whole other category that's the feminine energy. And I feel like it has its own vibration and its own current almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like that the fact that like you want to rock that and like embrace that is like, I just know what it's done for me in the last 9 months of stepping into that space, that to wake that up with other women, it's like,
Melissa is rocking the feminine. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I feel like I've been, but thank you for recognizing that. I've been working it a lot. So I think this is a really beautiful place for, and I really want to say, I almost feel like this would be good for teenager girls too.
Oh, this is so funny. When I was going up to Esther's to like see the space and like look at the yurt and decide how many people we could accommodate, and my 10-year-old daughter Josie went with me, and she was like, Mom, I totally want to go to this retreat.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, not this time, honey. And I felt so bad. And then I thought, there's definitely a need for a younger, like all ages. We're not going to do it this time around, but I keep promising her, and she's like, I'm just going to wear a wig and I'm going to come.
Oh my God, Josie's so cute.
She totally wants to come. She's like she felt like the whole presence and the whole energy. So definitely that is in the making for sure. But I think, 10-year-old, she might not be able to hold her attention for what we need to do in this first go around, but I kind of want her to go just because I feel like it's important.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like there's categories. You have like, your younger generation women, to like somewhere in between there, like ones that have had more life experience, and then maybe like those who have like ovulated, so maybe like 12 to like 20, right? And then you're like before, I don't know what you would call them, like premoon babies,
I guess.
Before they've had their moon cycle.
Yeah, because it's definitely, there are things happening.
Oh yeah,
already.
I know, because Josie's 11.
She'll be 11.
She'll be 11. Yeah. And then Charlotte's 9. So it's like there's definitely their bodies are changing,
hormonal shifts happening, and
and it's like I feel like they're like getting ready to like. They're starting to open up that feminine channel.
They are for big time.
yeah. So it's like a way to like, we're just bringing up new ideas for you, but a way to like support that like 9 to 11, 12-ish, the pre-moons, the new moons, and then the full moons. You could do like new moon, half moon, full moon.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you want to check out Michele and Esther and see what they're doing up in this beautiful mountain up in Lyons, please check out is it Rock the Feminine?
Oh, actually, they can go to my website, alionpt.com, because the other website link is too long. But just go to alionpt.com. There is a registration. You can click on there, and it'll take you to the page, and it'll describe it and all that stuff. So beautiful.
And then I'll have some more information on that too if you do want to find it, but you can't find it. I'll make sure I have a link there for you as well. And seriously, if you are a woman who has had any sort of trauma or just wants to be more free and more empowered in her body with really more permission to be you, this is the place to go. And Michele is, just from what I know of her, she's been such an eye-opener and a role model and a woman who I look up to to embrace my inner beauty of who I am. Like, she's helped teach me about fashion. She doesn't even know it, but I like watch her fashion, and then I'm like, okay, I can do that, with my own flavor, where I'm like, I have been embracing myself.
You look great.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm not taking credit for that. You did it all on your own.
Yeah. But also dance moves too. She's totally winning over there. So please check her out. And this is also, I just want to touch on this place too, that don't like, because sometimes I think us as women want to do things, but then fear holds us back. Like, well, what if I don't know anybody there? I don't want to go alone.
Oh, yeah. Don't be afraid. We are all just going to have such a great time. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see all the wonderful people that are going to be joining us. And you can join us too. So, yeah.
And I think too, no, you're totally fine. But I think that this is the place where, if that is you, it's more important for you to go.
Yeah.
Because you might meet your next best friend there, and you might meet like the person that can help you be where you're trying to be. And that's like the whole point of this, is to help free you so you can be liberated in yourself and fully express. Yeah. Getting teary-eyed. Yeah. But it's it's like a powerful place to be in and to open up to. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Michele.
Thanks for having me, Melissa. This was really fun.
Yeah, thank you. All right, you guys, have a most wonderful day, and stay tuned. And then again, check out alignpt.com to check out the Rock the Feminine, which is on August 27th from 9 to 7 in Lyons, Colorado.
Yes.
And it's got free food, delicious. I'm assuming it's going to be amazing food. And it's $197?
$197.
$197, a beautiful price. Okay, we look forward to seeing you, and have a most amazing day. Thank you.